Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back. Today another review video. This one on the Fremo, not sure how you say it, X700 portable power station. It's a 700 watt solar generator backup battery, and they also sent their Hyper 100 watt solar panel. It looks like this, so it's a real convenient carry collapsible piece. Excited to try that out, see if we can get it charging on that. Now this was shipped inside of another box and very well packaged. Well, go ahead and pop her on open. It looks like up top, this is probably our charge cable and such. Quick start guide. We got a 12 volt charge cable for when you're driving in your car if you want to charge up the battery. A wall charge cable, and then the external charging block. So sometimes these are built into the units, which is nice. This one's not, and this is outputs 24 volts at 7.5 amps, so 180 watts, and it inputs anywhere from 100 to 240 volts. So plenty of foam padding, so they did do a really nice job. On top we have a nice handle. That's everything in the box. Here is a first look at the unit. So I'm gonna say I like its shape. It's not bulky, it's nice and tall, compact, and on the back you have a detachable magnetic flashlight. Oh, it's detachable. Oh, so pulling this sticker off, it always depends on what kind of glue they use. Unfortunately, this seems to be leaving residue on here, not so much on the bottom. And of course, that's got to depend on the temperature you take the sticker off. But it is, not a big deal, but it's kind of annoying when you have something brand new and you got to clean all the sticky stuff off. Of course, you can just take the old sticker a lot of time and push it on there like that, and that will usually take off the rest. Oh, I see. It's just locked in with a magnet, and you got a little flashlight that it's probably not charged up yet. So you can charge it with USB-C on the back, or it actually has the terminals built into it, so it'll always be charged for you. I could see that getting lost though. It's I would end up losing that. All right, and here's a look at the front of it. Hopefully you guys can see okay in this lighting, but you have a USB-C 20 watt, a USB-C fast charging 100 watt, and you have 4 USB-A's, 2 120 volt plugs, 600 watts total. I'm shaking this thing around. Your DC out, like a cigarette lighter style, DC out, small port plug, and then this is your input for solar or anything else that you're going to charge it with. So you can charge this with, you could probably use a wind generator, solar, plug it into the wall, charge it with your car, or I guess use a generator, anything else you want to do. I wanted to show the tech specs on the side of the box, just run through a couple. So 662 watt hours, it weighs 17.38 pounds, and it's showing output total 600 watts, so peak at 1200 watts. Here's a glance at the tech specs on the solar panels, in case you want to pause that and read it, and then just some of the product characteristics. The ones that we didn't go over would be its cycle life is 1500 plus cycles, and you still have 80% of this battery's capacity. They advertise a recharge from 0 to 80% within 3 hours, and showed you the ports. Solar input up to 180 watts, so even if you get 2 of those panels, you got full sun, max you can go is 180. And then its usefulness, showing some different things you can power and how many times. Let's pop this panel open and see what that looks like, because don't have much sun left in the day, and I would like to see what we're at with that. Behind the zipper mesh, you just have the cables, and it's permanently mounted on here. Pretty long cables actually, which is nice. You can always probably extend it as well. Velcro on here, and it's just folds on out. You have 4 different panels on here. Here's a look at the panel sprawled out. You have 2 kickstands that fold out on the back side, and you have 1 output. However, this other one right here is for paralleling another panel onto it, so don't connect those 2 together. Not that I don't even know if they'd fit or if it would do anything. And then you have a USB connector here, probably like if you want to charge a phone or something off of there, I would imagine. Let's come out of the sun to turn this on. You got a power button here, I would assume. Hold that down. There's a look at it firing up. So we are at 30%. Showing 0 watts on this side, 0 watts on that side, and that would be like, all right, so for your AC, Now AC's on and DC's on, and then you have your wattage indicators here. Hopefully you guys can see the screen okay. Lighting, it turns the light on the back, and since it's probably not charged, yeah, it'll turn off. I assume that's gonna end up charging up though. So you see we're at 30%. Let's go ahead and plug this into the panels and see if in the next hour or two if we can get any charge out of that, or what these panels are pushing. They're rated at 100 watts, so it'd be nice to see that. It's pretty sunny out. And pop this into the input. The flashing lightning indicates it's charging, and you can see on the left side we're indicating 52, 53 watts charge. So I'll let that go for a little bit. We'll see if we can get some percentage out of it in the next little bit. Got the Gus man out here. He did his inspections of the panel. An hour and a half later, and we're up to 35%. Now I was watching this, and the peak input I saw was 67 watts. And it really only took like a half hour to get to 35%, because ever since the sun kind of got behind these trees a little bit, the wattage just really went out the window. So I'm gonna plug this into the wall now, and I'll let you know how long it takes to get up to 100%. I must say the solar panel is super convenient, about the size of a laptop, and it's really cool that even without a battery pack you could still charge devices with it. But having the backup battery to be able to charge during the day makes a world of difference, so you can take advantage of that full sun, Once plugged into the wall, we get a blue light on the charge block, and you can see we are pushing 175 watts. So I'll set the timer, let you know how long that takes to charge up. I guess I'm a little bit curious if this light works yet after sitting. Yep, so it's got 3 modes: full bright, dimmer, then flashing, and to shut it off, just hold it down and plug her back in. Nice feature. And 2.5 hours later, we are up to 98%, still pushing 175 watts. So I'll let you know how much longer until it shuts off completely. You guys hear the fan is on. I've kind of been hearing the background like cycle on and off. It doesn't stay on the entire time. It's ever so slightly warm coming out this side, and then the other side is the intake. The unit itself, I don't feel any heat. See, there you go, you hear the fan shut off now. So that kind of just cycles. But yeah, I'll give it a little bit longer, see how much. 99%. I'll let you know when it's done. Came back to check 10 minutes later, fully charged, 100%, pushing 0 watts. And you see the blue light on the charge block just stayed blue the whole time. So ready for some load testing. So the first load test is going to be the hair dryer. You remember the Gulu 300 could not power it. Let's plug this in, put it on low, and see if we can go. Yes, it is powering it, and it's pulling 340 watts. So now let's see if it can do high, or if the circuit protection is going to kick in, or the overload protection is high. I'm seeing, all right, it pegged it up at 900 something watts there. I saw on the gauge, and it says AC output overload. All right, let's test if it can reset itself. Well, all I'm going to do is hit the AC button once, twice, and put that back on low. There it is. So that feature works. And I do hear the fan kicked on, and then turns off when I turn this off, which is great because some of these will keep the fan on the whole time when you turn the AC inverter on. And for the timed load test, we're going to do the same as we did on the Gulu. 3 fans hooked up. It was pulling 294 on the Gulu watts. It's pulling 280 watts on this. We're at 100%. So I've just set the timer. We'll see how long that goes. Theoretically, it should go for at least 2 hours. The Gulu only did 45 minutes. So if we can get at least an hour and a half, that would be good to see. We'll chime back and let you know how that holds up. We've got a very cloudy day now, and I want to try out these solar panels to see if they can push any juice with the overcast. So I'm going to try plugging my phone directly into it and see if that'll charge. Look at that, it's going. So that's pretty sweet to know. Later, and we are down to 34%. Let's see how much longer that'll go. And 20 minutes later, just heard it shut off. So, yep, 0%. And let's try unplugging this. That was an hour and 50 minutes. Pretty good for 300 watts. Yeah, it won't let me turn anything on. The light still works on the back, so that's cool. but it won't let me turn AC or DC on. At this point, I'm going to plug it into the wall charger. This is not hot at all. It's actually ice cold because it's pretty cold in this garage. I've got it plugged into the wall. It's charging 175 watts, and let's find out 3 hours later if it can reach that advertised 80% charge. I did want to see if we wanted to boost the charge a little bit. Oh, so there's no other ports on here. Well, actually, I guess if we go up in this USB-C, let's see what that does. I don't think you can charge anything besides this input. Yeah, you can't charge through these USB ones like on the Gulu. You know, all these different units, they all have many different features, is the truth of it. But only one input on this guy, so that is going to be your max charge wattage. 3 hours later, and we are up to a whopping 90%. So that did even better than advertised. The fan is not on. Not hot whatsoever, and I'll let you know how much longer it takes to get up to 100%. 15 more minutes, she should be done. No, still 99%, 175 watts pushing. And 15 more, yes, we're done, 100% charging at 0 watts. People ask about, will these hold their charge over time? You know, yes, I actually charged this a week ago when you saw earlier in the video, and it sat here on the bench in the cold for a week, and it was still at 100% before we did the load testing. But generally, yeah, they will lose a little bit of charge over time. That's completely normal, and they do suggest recharging these every 3 months to maintain the battery in it and keep it in good working order. So they hold, all of the units I've had actually hold a very good charge. They don't drop like you think they would. Check out the soft close on that handle. Woo! So I'm gonna go ahead and conclude this review video, guys. It's overall, I'm definitely impressed with it and give a big thumbs up. You know, it does what they, oh, sorry about the lighting. It does what they advertised it to do, and it held up really good with the 3 fans. So, you know, I'm going to drop a link to it down below if you guys want to check it out. And certainly if this review changes in the future, like if I have an issue with it, I will make sure to update the description down below. Always try and do that. If you guys get any questions, feel free to ask me. If you have any other suggested tests that I can perform on these as I do more review videos on portable power banks, let me know. And otherwise, yeah, you'll probably be seeing this in use in the future. And that concludes the video. We'll jump to the owner's manual now in case anybody wants to read that. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. These two sleeping together is so cute. You guys cuddling to stay warm? I know it's a little chilly in the house. Oh. And as usual, at the end, I like to go through these manuals, even though it can be a little bit boring, but that way, if there's anything you guys want to read. It does come with a little sticker pack. And we'll go through the solar panel one first, since that's only a couple pages. It's kind of, you know, if you guys want to pause it, you can try to focus in and read anything I may have not covered, because I didn't read through these yet. If I can get a good image for you. And here goes the manual. Brought you out in the daylight. I think a little bit more readable out here. Oh yeah. So kind of a long one. You would think I would just scan this into it, something, but I think this works fine. I've never had any complaints, and I've actually went back and referred to it plenty of times. So here's an explanation of some of the indicators for diagnosing if you have a problem. Safety. Oh, it's not that long because it's just in another language in the back. Let's go back to the most important page and make sure that we got you guys a good clear image of these indicators. All right, cool. Hopefully that was helpful.